and has written live music and poetry since he was 8 years old. Please welcome Ned Rouse.
Thank you. I'm an all originals kind of a guy, and that's what I'm going to do today. I used to love her, she was my queen. I used to hold her, but now it's all a dream. Sometimes I wonder, where is she now? What is she doing? It ended quick somehow. I'd found a girl and I fell in love. The timing was wrong, I took it kinda rough. We'll always remain two friends to be lost in the distance. It makes no sense to me. We both are still close, we live in the same town, and won't see each other 'cause it might bring someone down. There is a saying, let your heart find the way, but it's my soul that needs her and it don't know what to say. Yeah. This song was written when I went to one of my first high school reunions, and everybody thought I was that same guy that used to hang out with all the interesting people. Sign of the times, how long can it last? A man full of promise locked in his past, surrounded by beauty with no will to see. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Why must I fear? The sign of the times. Go tell the soul that the body is lying. A puzzle of hope under tears washed away. The missing pieces all found, you start a new day. You put it together and you take it apart. Until it is finished, a new game you do start. Why must I fear? The sign of the time. What can it be that gets into our minds? People must change and learn how to relate and still change. No wonder it's hard. Why they think you're the same, and they're placing the blame from some point in your life you've discarded. Some want to forgive, but they easily relive the saddest mistakes. While they stare from behind bars, from their eyes into ours, the walls that lines make. Why must I fear the sign of the times. How long can it last? People full of promise locked in their past, surrounded by beauty with no will to see. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Why must we fear? The sign of the times. What can it be? Gets into our minds. The shadow strong, obscured reality. Denial's huge for those refusing to see it. No one can sort through all of the mental debris. Here we are again in the same old tug of war. Some want to look away, others they blink and miss more. In the end, what did we do it all for? Dark lens, the fools think they're wise. The dark lens is on their eyes. Yeah. They don't see the truth, just the beautiful lie. Created to suit them and just take up their time. And before they know it, they think their world is fine. Dark lens, the fools think that Thank you. That was called a tribute to Wade Shaver. He's a real good friend of mine who passed away a few years back. A couple of you people out there know Wade. Say yeah if you know Wade. Yeah, it's time for a little snooze. What has been happening? Is it the truth? What's going on? Give me the proof. prepared, then printed, posted and shared, delivered with angles, fair or unfair. Have you to put on your waders, an inquiring mind, a thirst for more nonsense, a need to be blind? Are you sorting through crap? Have you had just enough and the power to ask, who writes this damn stuff? Extra, extra. Read all about it. Here's the day's scoop of poop. Now you're informed. One of the smart carry their message. Lies are an art. Take it to press. Spread it around. Act like a Dick, Tom, and Harry with your head in the ground. What's the story? 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 Take it to press. Spread it around. Act like a Dick, Tom, and Harry with your head in the ground. Take it to press. Spread it around. Act like a dick, commentary with ya in the ground. Thank you. She tried to be noticed. She got pushed and got shoved. She tried to be included. She tried to be loved. She walked through the cold. She wanted what she lacked. She was forgotten. She fell through the cracks. She fell through the cracks. He cried, "Look at me." He was worthy, not proud. He was mostly ignored. He tried to speak loud. He met the demands. He produced many stacks. He didn't fit in. He fell through the cracks. He fell through the cracks. They would say, "Don't look through me. Please say that you knew me. We don't want to be nothings who nobody knows. Just give us some time, one moment to shine, and we will show you that wasn't there time, a sum of the sum. They were there ready, but the respect would not come. These people are loners, their lives leave few tracks. They hope someday to be included, but they fall through the cracks. They fall through the cracks. They fall through the cracks. A little tune-up here. The strings are breathing since we got into the shade. This is about growing up on the fruit belt out in Sparta, Michigan. I write a lot about that. It's called Two Boys on a Tractor. There was silage in the silos, there were cows in the fields, there were two boys on the tractor, plowing at the wheel. Shooting frogs down at the creek, but later on that day, putting the third tier in the barn from the second cut of hay. Hey, hey. Within a mile up the road from our old house on Kennewa was Zorn's welding shop and the Failings Dairy Farm, and all points in between, and underneath the bridge with our BB guns, just a couple of country kids. In our old clubhouse by the tracks, in the dump yard breaking glass, helping Foozy Cobra at his pig farm. Winter is upon us, the harvest is long past. The farm no longer runs, its ghost barns are falling down. New houses are breaking up the fields, no roosters crowing at the dawn. Paved roads are everywhere, the woods are being cleared. Everything is leveled. This is the progress that we fear. Though I now live in the city, and in an office is my work, I still remember those dusty fields where the sunrise meets the dirt. There was silage in them silos, there were cows in them their fields, there were two boys on that John Deere tractor, plowing behind the wheel.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
Another one about Sparta. It was the summer of '67. I was out of school. I was in pure heaven. I was out in the sun. I was playing hard in the barn, the woods, and the neighbor's yard. I wouldn't waste a day by staying inside. If I couldn't get out, I'd have probably died. In the morning, I'd go out to play, and I wouldn't come home to the end of the day. Yeah. Oh, those simple things that brought me on. The screen door slammed, I was off again, climb a tree to play and pretend. It was to make my biddy and ever plant me in the city. It was the summer of '68, I was learning things to appreciate. I didn't know then what I know now, but I had it good and it was profound. Yes, it was. Oh, those simple things that brought me on. Oh, my time's on. Can I walk? Maintain to this very day, growing up could tear me away. To mess me up, show me no pity, and forever plant me in the city. It was the summer of '68, I was learning things to appreciate. I didn't know then what I know now, but I had it good and it was profound. Yes, it was. Oh, those simple things that brought me on. Oh, my time's out on Kennewa 10790 Kennewa Northwest, Florida, Michigan. Woo! Happiest sound on earth. I wrote this about this city, someone I know from this city who did something in Chicago, but I wrote the story to be about here in Grand Rapids. But it's called All Is Lost. They met at God's kitchen. Let me get it. They met at God's kitchen, standing in line, in the snow-blowing cold, waiting to dine. She was years with the needle, he was years with the drink, but were meant for each other and brought to the brink. When she was younger, she got hooked in school, then the spiral was downward and addictively cruel. He had sold insurance, then lost all he owned. Killed the pain with the bottle, drinking alone, drinking alone. Together made sense, they fell deeply in like, walking the streets, sharing their lives. They stayed those cold nights together in the freezer box city, under the railroad trestle by the river, where life isn't lived or so pretty. There the coldest of campfires smolder until they turn into frost, and all of the garbage is treasure to those found until lost. They would shop in the dumpsters, panhandle in frequent soup kitchens, then gather their bounty to share for their addictions. All is lost. All is lost. She eventually found it harder to afford the fixes that she needed, and begged him to help by finding more as she pleaded. And when her prize was finally obtained, she again asked him for some help. He reluctantly found new spots for the needle as her veins were choked by her belt. In the morning their box was so quiet and so still as he rolled her cold body over to reveal his woman he'd helped kill, the only woman he had ever understood. He later placed in a dumpster as a burnt offering to his homeless neighborhood. He then screamed to the heavens, all is lost, 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 all
fawn, dew, tree, pour.
The birds all know, the bugs all know, the fish all know, the mammals all know, the plants all know, all of nature knows, but the humans don't have a clue. While animals run inland, we go to the beach, as the tsunami claims all within reach. When the skies begin churning, nature retreats. As the earth quakes from weapons, we smile as we breathe. Sing it with me! The birds all know, the bugs all know, the fish all know, the mammals all know, the plants all know, all of nature knows, but the humans don't have a clue. No, they don't. All know, the bugs all know, the fish all know, the mammals all know, the plants all know, all of nature knows, but the humans don't have a clue. When the seas get so dirty and the fish run aground, we go out sailing until the waves bring us down. When the troops start marching, nature retreats. As the earth quakes from weapons, we clash as we meet. We call it coincidence. Why do you think it's so odd? We listen and answer to things, but they listen and answer to God. The birds all know, the bugs all know, the fish all know, the mammals all know, the plants all know, all of nature knows, but the humans don't have a clue. But the humans don't have a clue. But it's the humans who don't have a clue. I sat on my throne that was thrown down with much haste, and I glued my hate on it. You know I love to taste paste. I then met myself on the dance floor and stepped on my own 2 feet while dancing the limbo with that bimbo in heat. We fought for control of who would then lead. Then the boozlers began drinking with their stink-thinking dreams. And the bodily watlins were popping their corks for a celebration of the disease in front of that ball in New York.
What's happening?
But I pretended to be asleep as they stumbled back home and blamed them for making me lonely at home all alone. I didn't need anyone else to isolate me. I was doing a fine job in my denial that I could not see. I own 2 minds with one in repair, often half empty and sometimes in despair. Then the nighttime unravelers began with their slurrins and a frantic try to worship the bottle. It's St. Pauli of Blurrins. As my world got more complex, I stood at the steps, knowing one day I must use them to untangle this mess. So I wept and went out to the world, angry on why it was me who seemed aged in these barrels in someone else's 96-proof dreams.
Come on, man, lighten up. I'm just trying to have some fun.
Drug, drink, drug, drink, drug, drink. Drug, drink, drug, drink, drug, drink. The only thing I know that is absolutely sure is that when absolute was drank, life was absolutely a blur. I got in line with the expectors as they obsessed a bit more while the drinksters around us were beginning to pour. Finally, the lowest of lows was finally hit, and I found myself a sitter in a meeting to sit. It was there that I heard what I needed to hear, and I took my life back. Insanity was near. I was climbing them steps one day at a time as the trippers and the nippers bit at my behind. But soon they all gave up and faded away, and so did my old self, and the past he did stay. My new life that is plugging along, and the healthy wealthies are singing their songs. And all the booze in Boozeville bothers me no more, and I have many choices times 1,044. Woo! That was a fine little one I wrote while I was sitting in Al-Anon meetings in the mid-1980s. It works. I call my exes my practice wives. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, don't you know I'm feeling small? You got me running up the wall, you really do. Just like a bullet, I was shot from the womb. Frogs and tutus, snowmen in June. The postal inspector was mailing my lawn in a smiley button thong. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, don't you know I'm feeling small? You got me running up the wall, you really do. Kids like this one. If the earth was toast and the sky was jam, the sea was eggs with bacon and ham, and my brain was a big side of hash browns. But in a time when they still hang around, I was getting in touch with my feminine side, but seeing someone else, I take it in stride. My neurosurgeon was gutting a pumpkin. He said, "Your next time really something." You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, don't you know I'm feeling small? You got me running up the wall, you really do. I had a woman who liked to scream at dust. Her knight's armor was covered in rust. One day she froze up and fell on her side. When I opened her helmet, she wasn't inside. No, she wasn't. In the tub, I was carving a roast. My Jinsu knife was covered in soap. Processed meat was pushing up from the drain. Who said that would never happen again? You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall, you really do. You got me running up the wall. Don't you know I'm feeling small? You got me running up the wall. You really do. I wrote this. Thanks for coming. Love it. I wrote this when I was probably about 10 years old on Kennewa in 13 Mile Road where I grew up. But we used to go back into the woods and back of the Van Belsens and Failings farms. And I used to like to go out by Crockery Lake, and there's a river out by there. So this is about that. I'm in the forest. The trees in the wild stand watch above me. I am their child. In the quiet of nature, the sounds that you hear are the sounds of God's creatures, the wind and the earth. Twigs all snap beneath my feet. All inhabitants scatter through the trees. Do 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 do. I'm by the river, watching the sky, feeling the breezes, it's all drifting by. In green haze reflection, the sky is so blue. The land and its river, so old but new to me. Thank you. Isn't that pretty? And again, a lot of these things that I write, I'm not playing anything by anyone else. There's lots of people here doing that. And I'm just a songwriter. They play my music locally. I play some local gigs. And I really love Grand Rapids, and I love living in this county. I've got one more song, and I think I'm going to do a song that's kind of like my anthem of positivity. If I can find it. The thing is what I learned is out here it's very bright.
I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you accountable.
Tell me the truth. In your deeds will be the proof. Though we're little grains of sand, together we make up the land. We're all numbered and different and have the power to understand. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you accountable. We were given the gift of love to share it and never get enough. We can form it like a lump of clay, creating art or an ashtray. We can pass it forward and know its power still remains. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. Accountable. Praise Jesus. The loudest squeaky wheel can be so very small. It can have an effect and overpower us all. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you accountable. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you accountable. You have choices on which way to go. You decide whom you want to follow or no. All of the images that we see were truly meant to be. I will choose my future, then open my eyes to see. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you accountable. To talk to you. I want to talk to my friends. And I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm staring in the mirror and I'm looking hard at myself. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to myself. And I'm gonna hold me accountable.
to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. Accountable. I want to hold you. I want to talk to you. I want to hold you. I want to talk to 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 you. I want to hold you accountable.
Thank you, Grand Rapids. More coming. Just wait to see what's showing up next.